In May, the St. Stephen's Cultural Center was the site of a traditional Ukrainian wedding reenactment. The event, sponsored by the Ukrainian Professional and Business Association of Calgary, was a learning experience, as well as a lot of fun. Traditionally, a band plays at the entrance of the reception hall to greet the guests as they come to the wedding. Guests often leave money to help pay for the band. Tradition is an important part of Ukrainian weddings. Most of these traditions date back to the pre-Christian times, and although they have evolved with time, the basic elements have remained the same and can be seen at most Ukrainian weddings today. In Ukraine, the traditional folk wedding was a well-planned real-life drama in 3 acts: courtship, engagement, wedding. Courtship, the first step in the process, was an elaborate ritual. Once a young man had found a young woman he wished to marry, he would ask 2 older men, starosty, to approach the girl's father on his behalf. The starosta's roles were not only to approach the father, but also to ensure tradition was followed right through until the wedding. Carrying staffs or bulave to show their position, and with a bag filled with bread, salt, and a bottle of whiskey, the starosta would go to the girl's home and knock 3 times. Pretending they are strangers, the father listens as the starosta tell him that they have come from a faraway land to hunt in this part of the country. Although they did not find any game, they did meet a young prince who was on the trail of a marten in the form of a beautiful girl, and he asked for their help to capture her. They had followed her trail to this door. At the end of the story, they asked the father if he is willing to give up his daughter yet. The father then asks his wife and daughter what he should do, giving his daughter a chance to respond. If she does not want to marry the man, she gives him a pumpkin on a plate. If the girl wanted to marry the man, she would give the starosta ritual cloths which she had embroidered herself. Her mother would tie these cloths over the right shoulder and under the left arm of the starosta. Then they would share the whiskey and bread with the father. The girl would then tie a kerchief on the upper arm or belt of the young man, for which he paid her by putting money in a plate. When the starosta and the young man left the house, the kerchief and ritual cloths would tell the entire village that a wedding was going to take place. In addition to embroidering cloths for the staroste, a young girl was expected to show her wealth and industriousness by preparing the rest of her wedding trousseau, which included a shirt for her intended. The amount of embroidery on this shirt showed how much the girl loved her husband to be. During the engagement, a ceremony was held for the parents to give the solemn blessing to the young couple. This was done with 2 same-sized loaves of bread tied together with a colored ribbon. This was presented to the couple along with a sheaf of wheat symbolizing fertility. Holding on to the ends of a ceremonial cloth called a rushnik, the young couple were led to the posad, or seat of honor, under the icon by the staroste. An important part of the ceremony was the inspection of the young people's wealth. Bargains were made deciding who gets what once they are married. A very important part of the wedding preparations was the baking of the korovai, a large circular bread symbolizing the staff of life. A wedding could not take place without this holy bread. The mother of the bride would invite an uneven number of women, usually 7, to bring ingredients and help with the baking. These women, called korovainici, had to be happily married women because widows or unhappily married women were thought to cause a bad wedding bread, and their misfortune would be passed on to the new couple. In the hope of passing good fortune to the new couple, each ingredient brought for the korovai had to come from sources with magical characteristics. The water had to come from 7 wells, the flour milled from 7 mills and poured from 7 sacks. The grain for the flour was grown in 7 fields for 7 years, the eggs from 7 young white chickens, the salt from 7 wagons, the butter from 7 butter churns in 7 different houses, and the milk from 7 cows. After the starosta had blessed them for their job ahead, the women would wash their hands and don periwinkle wreaths on their heads. The starosta then poured whiskey into the mixing bowl, ensuring the korovai would be filled with happiness, and the women began to work. When the bread was finished, it was placed on a ritual cloth, then decorated with herbs and periwinkle. Another part of the wedding preparations was the decorating of the hiltse, or tree of life. This was a small tree, or the top of one, decorated with various symbolic items. The evening before the wedding, the bridesmaids would gather at the bride's home to make the wedding wreaths. The wreaths symbolized purity, loyalty, and love, and were made from periwinkle or myrtle and decorated with ribbons, feathers, and money. While making the wreaths, the bridesmaids would sing songs wishing the couple a fruitful and happy union. This dance symbolizes the activities of the bride's friends, wishing her well in her marriage. wedding day, the bridesmaids and mother of the bride help the bride get ready. The most important ritual they perform is the unbraiding of the bride's hair. Depending on the region, the hair may be braided with coins in it or garland clothes to ward off evil spirits. Then the bridal wreath made of flowers, herbs, and fine feathers was placed on her head. Tradition dictates the bride must act sad during this because she was about to leave her home for a new one. At the groom's home, the starosta makes the sign of the cross, and all those present form a circle in the courtyard. His mother sprinkles the groom with holy water, and after he bows to each one present, beginning with his mother, the groom kisses everyone, and the spitilka leads the party to fetch the bride. At the bride's home, the couple is blessed by both parents, and the processional to church begins, with the groomsman, hiltze in hand, leading the way. The Ukrainian idea of equality of the sexes is illustrated during the ceremony, as the bride is not given away. Rather, she and her groom enter the church as equal partners. The word to marry, oдружитися, means to acquire a friend and support group, and a marriage is considered to be a partnership. During the ceremony, the young couple stand on a ceremonial cloth in church. The bride tried to be quick and step on the cloth first, as it was believed that whoever stepped on the cloth first would have the upper hand in their life. The starosta then binds the couple's hands with a rushnik, and wreaths are placed on the couple's heads. In some regions, it was customary to walk around the table containing the korovai 3 times before they were considered married. After the ceremony, there was a celebration feast. Part of this feast was a toast given the young couple by the starosta. The starosta gives a gold coin so that the couple's life will glitter as the gold does and be wealthy. Garlic, to keep the couple healthy and protected from spirits. Honey, so their married life will be sweet and they will stick together in times of sorrow. And a small piece of bread and the ears of wheat and rye, so that the new family be fruitful and prosperous. They would then drink whiskey to toast the couple's mutual health. While the dancing takes place, the mother of the bride removes the bride's wreath and replaces it with a kerchief, finalizing her passage from maidenhood into motherhood. The celebrations continue, lasting for up to a week. At the end of the reception, guests are each given a piece of korovai, and by accepting it, they are showing their acceptance of the newly created family. Customarily, the guests will give a coin to the bride and groom to wish them good luck and prosperity. After the reenactment, dinner and dancing completed the evening at St. Stephen's Cultural Center. A wonderful time was had by all who attended.